Guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Dream Giveaway Garage, and guess what? I have that one SUV that's been somebody's dream for a very long time. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Cadillac Escalade, but that's only the beginning. This is the mighty Escalade-V. But before we get into this supercharged, full-size, full-on luxury SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. SUVs aren't going anywhere. The reason why is because people are still buying them. And the brands keep making them and building new ones and coming up with new ones, and that's the end of the story. But what's nice to see is they're bringing performance for the enthusiasts into their SUVs. Now, when the Escalade first appeared, it was actually a little bit of a pretest. All they did was they took a GMC Yukon, switched out some pieces, put a Cadillac badge and grille on it, and that was your Escalade. But that was only the beginning, because eventually by the second generation, the Escalade was its own vehicle. And even when I used to be a high school history teacher, many of my students, if you asked them what their dream car was, they would say Escalade. Well, now we have supercharged V8 power, but there's also another American-built SUV, not as big as this one. This is a full size. I'm talking about the mid-size Durango, and 2025 is going to be the last hurrah for that Durango Hellcat. So what I want to find out is, do you go the extra money, the extra performance that you're getting for that money with the Escalade-V, or do you go Durango Hellcat? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and find out. Right off the bat, large and in charge is the name of the Escalade's game, and it really fits it to a T. Now, of course, with this being the very first V-Series SUV, you're gonna see some unique touches. Of course, you're still gonna get that same great LED daytime running lamps, your LED daytime running lamp. My big zonk is the fake vent here in the corner. But as we come across the V-Series grille, love to see that design. You got that Cadillac badge, bigger than Flavor Flav's clock that he wears around his neck. And then because this is a 2024 model year vehicle, it's 20 years of the V-Series. Goes all the way back to 2004, if you could believe that. Now, working our way down, this whole lower front fascia is unique. So you're gonna have these functional grille areas all the way across, a little bit of gloss black, a little bit of body color, but that massive grille in the center with your forward-facing camera is where it is at on this Escalade-V. That's how you know it's a V, when you see this grille and this lower front fascia. Comparing this to the Durango Hellcat, obviously this is much larger. But let me know in the comment section, do you like the face of the Durango Hellcat better, or do you like the face of this Escalade-V? Now, as we rise up, that big bold hood, love the way they do the indentations. Would have been nice to see some type of bulge because of all the power that we have underneath the hood. But you're not gonna find it on this Escalade-V. Now, as we come around the bend, of course, we're gonna have unique wheels and tires. So what do we got going on? You got these massive 22-inch wheels, that multi-spoke design, 6-piston Brembo calipers with the metallic red matches our paint job on this vehicle. You got the Magnetic Ride 4.0 suspension, all-wheel drive, of course, and you have brakes that are big enough to stop this beast, because this Escalade-V is no lightweight. Now, if you're comparing this to a Durango Hellcat, you're gonna find 20-inch wheels instead of 22-inch wheels. You're still gonna get 6-piston Brembo calipers. And the suspension is adaptive on the Durango Hellcat, but it's not as good as the Magnetic Ride on this Escalade-V. Think about it. General Motors is the one that came up with Magnetic Ride suspension that many brands use, including Ferrari. Now, coming down the rest of the vehicle, you do have your V badge. I'm glad they didn't put it on the fender. Better placement on the door for this large vehicle. You got color match on the mirror caps, 360-degree cameras. And then from the side of the vehicle, you can see that this is a full size, but it's not an ESV. An ESV is even longer. This is your standard Escalade. Now what I also like is because of the size, you do get those automatic dropping running boards, and because of the sporty nature of the vehicle, you're getting gloss black roof rails, you're getting gloss black trim, and then you even have the gloss black along the bottom as well to tie it all in together. It's like putting a big bow on your favorite Christmas present. Now working your way towards the rear, one of my zonks is you don't get Brembos on the rear. So I don't like the way you got your standard floating caliper. It is painted to match, but on the Durango Hellcat, that is something that you do get Brembos all four corners. Now, coming back towards the rear, spin it around just like up front, they got great signature lighting. I love the LED lighting, nice and tall here. Wiper is not exposed, it's hidden underneath the spoiler as it should be. Nice long roof spoiler. This is gonna be not only your Cadillac badge, but also the button to open up the rear hatch. Lower right-hand corner, you gotta have the V badge. And then dropping it down to ground level, we got our quad tip exhaust, GM Performance exhaust. This vehicle probably has the best sounding cold start of any other V8 engine produced today. Better than the Stingray, better than the E-Ray. It's kind of close with the Z06 depending on what type of sound do you like. Do you like more exotic V8? This thing just grabs you by the cojones and squeezes them when you fire it up. You do have your rear diffuser area, and of course this panel comes off because you could tow over 8,000 pounds with this vehicle. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see that supercharged goodness. All right guys, you got the hood popped. You do have the V-Series badge underneath the hood. Now the Durango Hellcat has that nice muscle car bulge with the functional hood scoop and the heat extractors. This doesn't have it, but what we do have is the LT4, hand assembled, Bowling Green, Kentucky. What type of horsepower are we looking at? We are looking at 682 horsepower, 653 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 4.2 seconds. Top speed is governed to 125 miles per hour, but here's where it rips. Quarter mile, 12.5 seconds at 113 miles per hour. And like I said, she's no lightweight, 6,290 pounds. MPGs, they might as well be MPGs because you're looking at 11 in the city, 16 on the highway. Durango's not much better, but it is better when it comes to MPGs. And remember, the Durango has 710 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. They almost can tow about the same, believe it or not, but the Durango is gonna have it at the drag strip, 0 to 60, and top speed. But does the Escalade bring something more? Why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Cadillac Escalade-V. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, Escalade has always been at the top of my list for a dream SUV, especially one that's got 682 horsepower. How much is it? MSRP for this one is $161,000, and crazy to think that you could win this and a CT5e Blackwing from Dream Giveaway Garage. That's insane. But let's see if it's worth the extra money to go Escalade-V over the Durango. To the door panels, love the nice style. You have soft touch material up top with the contrast stitching. Don't like the veneer finish on that wood. Would be nice if it was just regular open pore wood. You do have ventilated seats and heated seats. Some carbon flash metallic around the switchgear for the window, but you shouldn't get any fingerprints that are visible at least. Love the white piping. Super sized door pocket there where you could easily get 4 6-inch subs and a nice big 64 ounces of super big gulp. You do have the AKG over 30 speaker reference system. And then going from the door panel to the dash, the materials are really nice. This just feels a little fuddy-duddy to me, but you got more of that great stitching. On the side, you got a place where you could put 3 bananas. If you're not wearing your banana hammock like Steven does, you can put your bananas here, and there's a 12 volt. You're gonna want a radar detector. We have 38 inches of OLED, and what's great is that the graphics are super clear, and this screen is very easy to function through, which is great. Working your way down, you have your AC controls, the dual climate. This is gonna control that 10-speed automatic. You got your V button to go into V mode. Open that bad boy, 2 cup holders, a place for 5 boxes of Tic Tacs, USB-C, USB-A, real volume knob. You got a direct drive control knob if you don't want to touch the screen. And then look at this, wireless charging. Open it up, you got the cool box. Keep your Twinkies nice and cool. USB-C, USB-A, and then the leather seats, the AKG speakers, all of the great stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, and full electric assist for the driver, of course. And then up top, we have Alcantara, more of those great speakers, and of course, that power shade for our panoramic sunroof. Why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in this Escalade. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have, of course, your 2 memory seat settings. I love the Escalade name that's illuminated LED at night. You got an aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle, and then, of course, you have a dead pedal, but it's not aluminum. That's a zonk. Seat controls, easy to get to, and you do have the wonderful easy controls that are very, very intuitive to use. Massage seats in here, of course. And then I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, the leather. You got, of course, your what they call Super Cruise, that autonomous hands-free driving. A little bit of that fuddy-duddy wood. I wish it was carbon fiber. You do have the V badge. And then you do have metal pedals, not plastic, to go up and down that 10-speed automatic. There is your electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. A little V badge there. You could raise and lower your vehicle with the air ride suspension. And you got your trailer quick disconnect. And then that beautiful OLED display. When you go into V mode, it actually illuminates a little tiny V there. And you have all your other information with that nice large tach and a head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's show off the mid-row and the third row in this Escalade-V. All right, guys, mid-row time in this 3-row. Now remember, with the Durango Hellcat, you could either get a 3-row or you could get it just 2-row. Large, over 12.6-inch monitors on the back. You could get into your Hulu, your YouTube, all nice and wireless. There is seat entertainment for the rear seats available in the Durango Hellcat as well, but it's not as nice and not as new technology-wise as that. Pull down the armrest. That's a proper armrest for the captain's chairs. Seats look great, just like the seats up front, nice soft leather. You got a little bit of a command center here. Only heated seats, no ventilated seats. That's a zonk. Open that up, you got your 2 cup holders, USB-Cs, HDMI, and a home power source. Love the way you have pockets behind both seats. That way you could keep some books there, maybe even a mirror, so that your passengers can look at themselves and love themselves. Because remember, you can't love somebody else until you love yourself. Seats, they slide, they recline. I got the AC vents nicely mounted up top with your AKG reference system. And then of course, we're gonna get into the back seat. Show you how easy that is. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Bop, ba, boop, boop, boop. Look at that. Come on in. Plenty of room back here. And that's the thing is that compared to the Durango, obviously you're gonna get more room. I mean, that just goes without saying. This is a full size. So it really depends on what is more important to you, luxury and more room or outright performance. But I got lots of space back here, soft material on the armrest, USB-Cs. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area because I want to go on throttle in this Escalade-V. All right, guys, cargo area time. Now, like I mentioned, the Durango, you can get either 2-row or 3-row. With the Escalade-V, you're stuck with 3-row. I have the 3rd row up, but you can see how much room we have. I mean, you got all your floor mats back here. We don't want to mess up the nice carpet. And in each of these boxes is a special goodie from General Motors, especially this big one. This is the one that if you win this, wait until you see what is in that box. Now the seats obviously fold down and you got over 100 cubic feet of space, more room than what you're gonna find in a Durango. So we don't have to worry about that, but why don't we go ahead? What I wanna do is, let's go on throttle together and see, is the Escalade-V the one you want over the Durango Hellcat? All right guys, we're inside this 2024 Cadillac Escalade-V. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to launch this thing with launch control. Left foot on the brake, right foot on throttle, and this thing's gonna take off like a cruise missile. You ready? On throttle, here we go, yeah! Nice! Super fast shift from that 10-speed automatic, and the launch control, it feels like it's something right out of a IMSA GTP race car. Love all the pops and the bangs coming out of the exhaust. And even though this thing is larger than your Durango, believe it or not, it doesn't feel that way when you're behind the wheel. You ready again? On throttle, here we go! Yeah. Nice. Woo-hoo! Gets the power to the ground very effectively. Obviously, when looking at the luxury side of things, this Escalade-V brings it tenfold compared to the Durango Hellcat. But the Durango Hellcat, especially with the Napa leather interior, has upped the ante quite a bit. Both of them sound glorious. You'll have an eargasm either way, whether you go Escalade-V or Durango Hellcat. It's just, you get that little extra level of panache with this Escalade-V. Pulling out in the traffic, plenty of power. And just the sound alone is worth the price of admission in this thing. With the MagneRide suspension, it rides comfortably when you need it to. And then when you want to get up and boogie, it does that really well on top of it. On throttle, here we go. Look at this. It really is a freaking hoot to drive. You got all that torque down low. To use the paddles, you just go right into manual shift mode. And then now you could use the paddles. Look at this thing. It's like your own amusement park ride. And going over speed bumps and stuff, it's actually quite comfy, to be honest with you. That's where it's gonna come out on top compared to the Hellcat, the Durango Hellcat, is this thing is just much more polished. But yet it has a very, very good sounding supercharged V8, that's for sure. Oh man, I could drive this thing all day long. And the color just looks superb in the sun. Nice, look at this. But the good news is that the shifts up the gearbox and down the gearbox feels really, really good. Let me show you how maneuverable this thing is. On the brakes. Look at this. Really, really nice. But it's got good feedback to the wheel, and I'm telling you right now, she doesn't feel like she weighs 6,000 pounds. She really doesn't. Which of course, the Durango Hellcat's gonna weigh a little over 5,000 pounds. So you got about 1,000 pound difference. And remember, at the end of the day, the Hellcat has more horsepower and a little bit more torque. So do the math. But I love the sound of that V8. I could listen to this sound all day long. Look at this. On throttle! You hear that pop? Oh, nice. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. This thing is better than 2 Alka-Seltzer. That's for sure. But it just shifts so nicely. That 10-speed is a great transmission. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick, overall review of what the power is behind an Escalade-V. We're gonna get back to where it started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day here at Dream Giveaway Garage. Definitely want to thank the whole team. And remember, if you use the Radius Rise promo code, if you spend $25 or more, you get triple the amount of giveaways. And I like to tell you each and every video, I do not get paid to say that, nor do I get paid if you buy any giveaways. I don't get any of that. I'm just here to bring these amazing vehicles to you, and hopefully you'll win. But let me know what you think. Are you going Escalade-V? Are you going Durango Hellcat? Let me know how you're gonna spend your money, or if you're wanting to win one of these, in the comment section down below. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radius Rise family. Got to give up to Stephen Flood. He loves muscle. He loves working out at the gym. And he loves the ladies that love his muscles, especially his love muscle. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.